Hello, everybody.
Oh my God.
How we
It's
doing?
been so long.
It has been a while. I hope you
so
gentlemen are
long.
doing well.
We forget how to do this.
I am doing. Welcome everybody. Zero Trucks Given. I am Tommy Late Night.
I am Senior Vintage.
The Vintage Drop Shop. And I'm Clayton with Our Time for Adventures.
Let's go racing.
Let's go racing.
If you're new to the podcast, click that little subscribe button. Give us a little follow. And as we go along, if we say something that you rings a bell with you, be sure to give us a comment and give us a like while you're at it.
Hey, can we also tell them that we promise that we're coming back? We're coming back strong.
Yes. So
yes,
we
definitely
took time off because of not just my personal life issues, but I'm sure Mark had some personal things going on, and Clayton had some serious personal things going on as well. Nothing serious like life-threatening, but we all had some personal changes.
We've all been very busy in one form or another.
And I can say that I'm back in Indiana. I'm not even in Arizona right now because my move still is not final. So, everybody, there's my U-Haul, and there's my storage container over there. So, I will be in Arizona someday again. I'm not really sure when. It's one of those things. I'm just enjoying life in Indiana.
You're looking at that and thinking you're going to be there forever?
At this point, I told my wife last night, I'm like, I have been here forever, honey. She goes, yesterday was 1 week. I mean, only 1 week. And I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yeah, you've only been there a week. I'm like, it feels like I've been here a month. I'm over it. We're down to the last crap in the house that like nobody really knows what to do with. Burn it, throw it away, put it to the auction house. We don't really know. I'm at that point to where I'm like, you know what? I didn't miss it for 5 months when I was there. So I'm probably not going to miss it if I just throw it away. And if I do, I'll just buy another one when I get up there. Right? That's my good friends. My next door neighbor's
like
dog.
when people move, they kind of like use that time frame to kind of like purge of the things that they don't use and get rid of stuff. But here you are, you traveled back to Indiana to, I guess taking into account exactly what it is you want to purge.
Right. Hold on a minute.
Exactly.
Theo.
Don't worry
quit.
Don't worry about that.
I'm on a podcast, Theo. Quit. Theo.
Zero dogs.
It's a zero dogs.
That's him right there. It's Theo. He's right over there he's being a Theo.
So, I'm a teacher, so I'm wrapping up my school year right now. We got like a month left of maybe 20 days. I don't know. Our last day of school for teachers is June 29th, which is really, really late, but like whatever, I still get paid. And I get to hang out with some of these kids for a little bit longer before they move on to bigger and better things. And I actually had like some pretty far out stuff happen with a couple of students that was really unexpected, and it like got me a little teary eyed. But I have to finish up my coursework for my license, so I had to step away to focus on schoolwork for myself, and then obviously being a single parent and all that other stuff. So that really put a hamper on, because we recorded like 2 episodes, and then it was just a fiasco on my end. And like honestly,
Tommy ghosted us. That's what happened. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna get these all edited up and on there. Poof. Where'd he go? Where's Tommy? Tommy's gone.
School
Life.
School
and then the other thing is that like I wasn't really happy with the way the quality of the podcast turned out. Like we we're 3 guys who are very outspoken. We have three very strong personalities, and we really want to try and keep the podcast to like an hour and 10 minutes, hour 20 minutes. And these podcasts were going for like 2 hours, over 2 hours, and it's just like we really want to try and tighten it up. So we're back, and we're going to try and stay focused, even though we all have a form of adult ADD. But we always start off every episode with our most recent acquisitions. Now, I personally went to a diecast show last week, and I'm not gonna sit here and do show and tell for all that stuff. But I love there's a collectors group, the New Jersey Collectors Club in New Jersey. They always have a monthly diecast show, and I went to the new location that they had this past weekend. And man, it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. There was some great stuff, and obviously, I spent way too much money. But I did have some pretty awesome acquisitions, unexpected acquisitions this week. And it kind of relates to another topic that I want to touch on later on. But I was going to I was going to pick up my son for soccer practice this week, and I was like, you know what? Let me stop at the Dollar Tree right by his school, and it's usually always hit because every store has their frequent collector, right? Like every store has like, look, this is my store. Don't you mess with my store. So this was like 3:58 on a Tuesday, this past Tuesday, and I actually scored the. First off, the new Matchbox case has this Lincoln Continental.
Yeah, the new Matchboxes are fire.
And I got super lucky and managed to grab a Super Chase.
Oh, dang! Look at
hanging
you
there on the pegs.
Score.
Like 4 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Very nice.
Couldn't believe it. And like it's the Jaguar XJ6.
Is the Jaguar or is it the Shaguar, baby?
The last Super Chase I found, I actually mailed to Clayton because he was like, "Ooh, that Shelby is so sick. I want that." And I was like, "You got it, homie." So
and much appreciated, because still to this day, I've never found a Matchbox Super Chase in the wild. I found 4 Super Treasure Hunts. I've never found a Matchbox ever.
Well, I found the 4Runner, the orange 4Runner.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have that one. I kept that one. So that was pretty cool. Actually, I just hit the Walmart over here because I had to go get totes, and I got the new charcoal gray 4Runner and the new Chevy Tahoe. Not that that's like super cool or anything, but the Legends Tour displays were here.
Ooh.
So I got the Legends Tour Civic Hauler. I got the, and I don't have them here because they're in the house, and if y'all want me to walk over there, we'd lose signal. But I got the Arizona Iced Tea Miatas. Those were in the display. So not at Speedway, but they are in the Legends Tour display. Mm-hmm. And then I got some new main lines, like a new Porsche or whatever. But the custom auto would have been the Super, and my buddy actually got that. And then yeah.
Was it G case or H case?
I think it was H case. It's the custom autos, the Super Treasure Hunt with the Neo wheels on it, not the first Super Treasure Hunt without rubber tires.
So I think H case is the Lotus and G case is the auto.
All right, well then it's the G case. It's whatever case you want to insert. I don't know. I don't even look at case codes anymore.
Clayton, what do you got?
Yeah, let's go.
Clayton. Clayton's turn. So we all know the selling platform, Whatnot. I had some incredible luck on Whatnot giveaways this week. Okay.
Really?
Oh, I have 3. We're going to start with, how about the lowriders?
Oh,
we got the Impala and the Monte Carlo.
You won those?
I won these in slangers, closet slangers.
Slang gang, baby.
Slang gang. They're awesome. And I had no idea the suspension on the lowriders move.
It's all adjustable. Yep.
They're all adjustable. Look at that.
Yep.
Check that out.
Front to back, side to side.
Front to back, side to side, right? Look at that. 3-wheel motion. And then also in the same stream, we got the C10.
You won the truck too?
I won the C10.
Stop.
Yeah, nice. I have
all giveaways in the same stream.
Dude,
and what? The blue on this, I've always been
so nice. It's so nice.
Look at that. Look at the shine on that truck.
It's blue over chrome.
It's fantastic. So there's my Grail pickups for this week. And I'm like blown away. Absolutely blown away.
You did amazing.
All 3 of those, which ones do you like the best? It's probably the C10, right?
Honestly, no. I like the C10. I do. But this Monte Carlo, I have been a secret lowrider lover since like middle school. I used to draw lowriders and have a subscription to Lowrider magazine and tag like all this stuff in middle school. I love this car. It's
That is
incredible. Like the
That-
it is an
pinstriping
awesome
on
car.
it, the paint scheme. It's awesome. It's fantastic. The Impala. Oh, I didn't even notice. Oh, look at that. There's speakers in the back.
Yep.
The whole back deck is speakers, subs.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So that's
So
old school
cool.
technology. That mobile or that adjustable base came from the old black box series when they had the lowriders out. So they just
Yeah, and it's
used,
cool because it like up and down and then it turns as well, which
Oh, yeah.
is such
Yeah.
a cool design.
You should.
So
find
I have a thing that I found, which unfortunately is not diecast. As some of you know, and as some of you don't know, I have gotten in very heavily into watches. Right? I mean,
Yes, sir.
very heavy into watches. So I went to the local gold and silver pawn store here, and I said, this was just the other day, I said, do you guys have any watches? And they were like, no, we don't. We usually, whenever watches come in here, we pull them apart and then we melt them because they want the silver and the gold on them. I'm like, fair enough. And then the girl was like, well, I do have this one box full back here. Let me go grab it real quick. So she brings me out this box full of watches that haven't been scrapped yet. So she takes out the little silver gun. She's hitting it on it. She's like, this has got silver in it. This has got silver in it. This has got silver in it. And I noticed there was a Zodiac women's watch. It's called a checkerboard. And I know that it's all stainless steel and not silver. So I was waiting for her to get to it. And she's like, yeah, this one doesn't have silver. I'm not interested in this one. I was like, oh, okay. I'm interested in that. So I ended up buying like 5 watches for $100. I got the Zodiac. The Zodiac is now for sale for $469.
Huh.
Right?
Wow.
So as I go back, I had to run down and go get cash because it was cash only. As I came back, she goes, I did find this box. Are you interested in this? And she dumps out all the watch faces from watches
that they melted.
they've melted. And there is a full-blown watch that is still sitting in the bottom of this bag. And I'm like looking at it and I'm going, there's no way this is what I think this is. And she said, everything in there has been melted except for the watch faces. I found a Tiffany & Co., the actual automatic watch face inside. And boys, I'm not going to lie to you. I tried to keep my composure, but I was losing it a little bit when I was paying her the next $150 for this box of stuff. Because there is an
Oh, his recording stopped because he got a call. Started.
I'm back. Am I back? Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. It's saying that it's uploaded again. So I have, and I pulled it apart to make sure it's legit. It is a legit freaking Rolex.
So yeah, your call. The call dropped. What did you find in that box?
I found a date just Oyster Rolex in the bottom of the box, and it is real. $3,600 watch. There's no
That
gold or
is
silver on
wild.
it. No gold or silver, so they just pass it up. They said they don't care what it is. If they can't melt it, they don't care. They usually call this jeweler up in Brownsburg to come pick this stuff up. But I was there, and I gave him a card. And I paid $150 for the entire box, and there's probably 15 Omega faces that just have to be put back in watches. And there's a Tiffany & Co., which is a very expensive movement. And so all in, $250 in, and 2 watches will bring back $4,000.
What's
That's
the Rolex?
nice. It's a Oyster Rolex Datejust. It's a Datejust.
What's it made out?
Stainless steel.
Okay.
Yep.
That's obviously why they passed it. They were just like whatever.
18. I think it's 18 or 21 jewels inside of it.
That's
but
weird.
It's a women's watch, so it's like a 24 to 26 mil, but it's real. I mean, I cracked the case and looked inside and did a deep dive on it. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, she's like, I don't care what it is. It doesn't matter. If we can't melt, we don't care. Like, they don't care about anything except for gold and silver. That's all.
That's weird. I was gonna say it's weird because like Rolex is like, I don't know. I know nothing about watches. I know Omega and I know Rolex are like expensive watches.
They are.
And then I know my Apple Watch because that's what I wear. And like that's it. I'm not in the watch game. I'm not a watch collector, but like everybody knows Rolex.
Yeah.
Why a pawn shop would pass up on a Rolex like that is really odd to me.
But
Simply because
it's not a pawn shop. It's just a gold and silver shop.
Oh,
They had to explain that to me. They don't do pawns. They don't. She said,
That's
you know,
fine.
people don't come in here and try to sell us watches. They only bring things in here that they can break down, melt, smelt, do whatever. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand that.
then maybe that person was an idiot and think like, let me take my Rolex to a pawn shop. Why would I go to a gold and silver shop? So
Right.
whoever got rid of it is a moron.
Yeah. So pretty excited about that. The Zodiac's really cool too. It's like a square face. It's called a tank watch, and it's got like these holes in the band, and it's called the checkerboard Zodiac. And there's only
this
2 of them out there.
symbol in it.
It does. It actually is. Zodiac is. They're very expensive. Here, you once you get into watches, you realize that Rolexes are cool, but they're overpriced China junk. Really, in actuality, anything after 2001 has China parts made inside, and China factories make Rolexes. The super clones, you can't even tell. They use Rolex parts, Rolex case. It's not a real Rolex, but even the pros have a hard time determining that it's fake. So there's watches out there like Hotline and Out of Order. There's watches out there that are far more Jacob & Co. There's far more expensive and higher end watches than Rolexes. Rolexes are watches that you want to wear around for click, clout, and making people think that you got a lot of money. Real rich people don't wear Rolexes. Real rich people wear watches you can't obtain, like $500,000 Bugatti Chiron Jacob & Company.
Well, I mean, we could ask our resident rich guy, Clayton, what watch do you wear, Clayton?
Those ones right there.
He's
Half
so
past the freckles.
have a watch.
Over here, it's always our time. Okay.
It's always, oh gosh, that was a good one. Played right into that one. It's always our time.
It's always our time over here. Our time. Yeah,
Good.
see, right? Our time right there.
That's good. That's good. I'll give you that.
That's a segue. I'm going to use that to segue. Okay, so the topic of today's episode is collecting for the future. All right, are we investing or is this just an obsession? We're going to talk about the $1 million question. Are we building a legacy or are we just filling a room? Do you guys have an item in your personal collection that you purchased relatively low that has just skyrocketed in value?
Yeah, the green Silverado RLC. I bought it at retail. It was $25 back when the RLC when it came out, and in my truck show I sold it for $3,700.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that show. I did.
I sold that one carded and the loose one for like $5,600 for 2 trucks.
It sold for $3,700.
Yeah, it was number 102, very low number.
And it's just a green RLC Silverado.
The very first Silverado ever produced by Mattel. It's the green. It's called the Greenie. It's a RLC, 2008, I think. Yeah, it's the holy grail of Hot Wheels Silverados.
Yeah.
Well,
so why?
Now it's the military rod military rod can pull more money than that, and it doesn't even have rubber tires, which is kind of dumb. But it's whatever. It's right up there.
So why didn't you? So I'm assuming you probably have another one in your collection. That's why you sold it.
No, I just sold all my Silverados off because I knew I would have a lot of money, and it was a 5-figure show that night. We made a lot of money that night. I won't disclose how much, but we did a lot of money that night, and that was a lot of money that I used to further my shop, to get out to Arizona, and to just put some inventory. I put a lot of that money towards really investing into the protector pack stuff. So since then, things have changed. We're very well off now, and protector packs are far more obtainable than what they were before. But when I was starting, I had to figure out I had to generate a good chunk of income to buy inventory. You always got to figure if you're trying to start a business, that's the cheapest thing you can. What's the cheapest thing that you've bought that you can turn around and make the most money on to sell to get yourself going? And honestly, it was my Silverado collection because I've owned the Silverado. I've had an 86 Silverado. I've gone through the whole phase. I'm 50 now. I'm never going to buy another Silverado. I'm not going to drive a lowered truck. I don't need that. I'm moving in more towards, which I haven't told you guys yet, but I'm going to go look at a car because I sold my 240 to my son. And
wow.
there is a car that I have been hunting for, and a person here, an old acquaintance of mine, reached out and stated that he had one that he's got in his collection, and he doesn't really want it anymore compared to all of his Porsches and McLarens. I'll give you a hint. It's blue. It's from Japan. It's four-wheel drive. Let me say it again. It's Bayside blue.
Bayside blue?
Are you getting a Skyline?
It's an R34 GTR.
Yeah, I was just saying R34, right?
Yep.
That's that.
And it's got a lot of stuff done to it. He's put the R35 AP big brake kit on it. It's got Nismo taillights, Nismo dash, all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm going to go look at it tomorrow. And I have a trailer, Chris's trailer, I'm going to pick up at his house, which is the hydraulic low bed. So you push a button and the trailer actually lowers to the ground. And you literally can just drive the car flat right up onto the ramp.
That's awesome.
I got to go pick that trailer up tomorrow. That's why I have that U-Haul sitting right over there. So, yes.
Nice. Congrats on that.
Dude,
That's going to be, I can't wait for pictures for that, actually.
I'll send pictures as soon as I'm done.
Clayton, what's something that you grabbed relatively low price that has just skyrocketed?
So back in probably 2015, maybe, I used to collect a lot of sprint cars, World of Outlaw sprint car stuff. And
Oh, yeah. Yep.
so it was actually a 2010 car, I believe. It was a Donnie Schatz Knoxville Nationals gold 1/18th car. And you could only get them at Petro, which his father owns in North Dakota. Was the only place to buy them. My dad was a truck driver, and I believe it was a 2010 car. My dad was in Petro in North Dakota and asked the owner himself if they had any of those cars left. And he's like, I think we got a couple in the back, and went and got 3 of them. The 1/18 scale Donnie Schatz he bought for $65 a piece that were autographed by Donnie himself. And the one we sold, I still have 2 of them in storage. The one I sold for $900 off a $65 car. So it's nothing like a $3,700 RLC, but that's still an incredible markup.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, and we still got 2 of them. It's a wild, wild car. So that's one of the awesome ones.
Off the top of my head, like I have to use this summer to go through my stuff to figure out what I want to keep in my PC and what I just want to get rid of. But off the top of my head, the first thing I can think of is the relatively new, is the pop culture R34 Godzilla.
Yeah.
Right?
Good one.
I didn't even see that in stores. I got that in a Whatnot stream. I bought a case, right? Because it came with the Stranger Things BMW.
Yep.
So the case was like $70, I think I paid for it, which is already a lot. But that R34 Godzilla is selling for like $120, $150 now. And it's just an R34. It's just another Hot Wheels casting of an R34.
It's paint scheme. That's what you're paying for.
Yeah.
To see that selling for $150 now on eBay regularly.
Full disclosure, I still haven't seen one in the store. That goes back to also, do you remember that was
back in November.
Right, the Fast and Furious transport with the blue and gray R34 on the back, right? The Brian livery on the Liberty Walk. I mean, that thing now it's $200, $250.
Yeah,
and I still have never seen one in the store ever. Never saw one in Target ever. I never even got one. Never got one.
So on the other spectrum of that, what's something that you thought was going to go up, but ended up being like a boat anchor? Ended up
Neatos.
Neatos.
Labubu's.
That's hilarious.
Stupid, dude. Just dumb.
So something in your collection that you grabbed that you're like, oh, this is going to be totally valuable, 100%. Is obviously, but then it just ended up being like no dice. Sorry, it's just it's a brick.
Well, we definitely had a couple John Force cars do that when we were big into collecting NHRA stuff, 124th. And they did a Norwalk paint scheme that was red, white, and blue, stars and stripes.
Norwalk,
And
baby.
yeah, Norwalk paint schemes are all rare paint schemes because they do limited runs of every car. And it was one that at the time, it's $200 a car to get it at the track and have it shipped out. And you think they're going to just take off and be the next big thing in John Force. And you can buy them all day on eBay right now for $100, half the price is what they were at the track. It's crazy. I mean, some cars go and some just don't. And I mean, monster trucks, same way, right? Like some trucks take off and some just never do. Like it's wild.
I would have always thought, and Clayton and I we're on the same page when we say stuff like this. When we were coming up and doing diecast, when we were, big collectors, there was NASCAR stuff. This is before Earnhardt died. So there were limited runs for their stuff then. And then a week before he passed away, he signed his life away to say, you guys can make as much crap that you want to make for me. And after that, everybody jumped on that bandwagon. And the 1 of 2s, 1 of 5s, 1 of 10s, that stuff went away. And all the people that were just gobbling up NASCAR back then, it's like, man, I'm going to retire on that. That is one of those things where you're not going to retire, but which is really scary because I watch these NASCAR streams now and whatnot, and it is full circle. People are buying the 1998, 97, 96, 95s, the crap that you just could not get rid of. People are buying that stuff again. I mean, I watched this one NASCAR guy, he had 250 people in his room, solid, and it never went down. And he wasn't doing giveaways. And I'm like, what are we doing in here? Like, are we really selling the old M&M cars for $15-20 action? Like, it's wild. So, I mean, for me, I would say it was the NASCAR stuff that I had picked up and then held on to the Gordon stuff and stuff like that. But, one thing that I remember selling that I wish I wouldn't have then, but this is in my early days and whatnot, I sold my personal monster truck stuff that I had. And I had a personal monster truck collection, but I had a Thomas the Train. And I know it sold for $65, and I thought I got really good money out of it.
Yeah.
And, now...
Who would have thought that truck was valuable today?
Right.
And what blows my mind is Hot Wheels, they bring out so many re-releases. So many. That truck's never hit a second time. And I just don't get it.
And it won't.
Like,
it won't.
Yeah.
They'll never do it again. They'll never do it again.
Maybe
that was one of those one-time collabs that they did, and that was it. So, yeah.
Do you think it's because of the license? Like, or is it just because, like...
Well, I think Thomas the Train is big enough now by itself that they don't need Hot Wheels to do it. I think that was probably a collab to get people back into it. That's kind of how I feel. I may be wrong in that whole situation, but Thomas the Trains, if you buy the Thomas the Trains in the stores, there's chases for Thomas the Trains.
Yeah, there is.
The little gold symbol on the freaking card. So they have their own versions of chases. And I chased the chases all Christmas long. Never found a single Thomas the Train chase ever.
Maybe
I've never seen one.
Maybe they said there's a chase, but there's just no chase. They just said that to drive.
No, I know a guy.
Yeah, I've seen photos of them, and it's got a different card on it, but I've never seen one.
Hey, let me sidetrack real quick. Do you guys know who Big Lou is?
Yeah,
Big Lou?
Yeah, the designer, Big Lou.
Yeah, the designer for Cartooned.
Yeah.
Well,
guys,
he left Cartooned and he went to Greenlight, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he was at the Greenlight dinner.
Well, do you know he was in court yesterday, right?
No, that I did not know.
Well, if he's convicted, he's doing 6 years in prison.
Oh.
$7.8 million lawsuit against him from MGA. He has gone to the factories and taken all of the red bottom chases and had those cases sent to his buddies. And then his buddies all jacked him up on prices on eBay, and they all took the money and ran. So all those $2,500 chases that you've heard so much about,
on Cartoon,
all cartoons, all inflated prices, and Tanahan was behind it.
Diecast insider trading. It's diecast insider trading.
Literally,
MGA sued him yesterday, and I don't know the results because I haven't heard yet. But if he lost, he does 6 years in prison.
Wow.
That means Cartooned is going to tank, and all of those chases, they're only worth $50, not $2,500 like they were selling before.
That's wild.
It was all
That
Ponzi
is
scheme
wild.
from the get-go. Like he was orchestrating this whole thing. All the eBay sellers were his boys. All the people bidding it up were his boys in different accounts. Like it's a big deal. $7.8 million? That's not a walk in the park. Like that's some
Yeah,
serious, you messed up. All because
that
you're
is
trying to
wild.
be not famous wise, kind of. He just wants to be famous. I'm like, dude, it's a toy car, man. What are we doing?
This is like, so this is frustrating because we have the topic obviously right now, right? But like this relates to something that I've been noticing. Like I've been in this hobby now for over a year, right? Like like solid in this hobby for well over a year. Um, and I noticed it the other day when I went out hunting. Like I woke up, I fell asleep. We were supposed to record this podcast last
Yep.
Friday,
Yep.
and I fell asleep. And
Yeah, you did.
I
We're
woke,
like, where's Tommy?
I ended up waking up at like 8:30. I was like, oh, sorry guys, I fell asleep. I missed my call with my son, and I went back to sleep when because I think you guys were doing another Whatnot show.
Yep.
I went back to sleep, and then I ended up waking up like 1:30 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and I ended up staying awake. And I was like, fudge it, let's go hunting in the morning. Like,
let's go hunting.
So like 5 a.m. I left the house. I went to the nearest Walmart, and like I ended up hitting. I set a new record. I hit 5 Walmarts in an hour and a half.
Whoa.
Wow.
And a Target. And I shot video of it too. Like I shot video of me like going to like just to see what like a Saturday morning 6 a.m. hunt would be like.
Yeah.
And I just noticed that like this has nothing to do with what you're talking about with Big Lou, but it kind of relates to it in a way. That like this hobby, I left Pokemon and came to this hobby because it was impossible to get Pokemon stuff because resellers were controlling the market.
Yeah.
And I had pretty good plugs and made good relationships with card stores that I was able to get stuff, but it was just becoming like all these stores releasing exclusive things and stuff like that. And it just became so toxic that I was just like, you know what, man, like my son's getting into cars and monster trucks. Let me do this with him. Right. And I do like it's just, I'm noticing 5 Walmarts in an hour and a half, nothing. I found a Black Widow Silverado. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, and even with the Walmarts by us, they've stopped putting pallets out until closing time now because so many scalpers come in and just rip through stuff.
Right.
And they literally won't bring the pallet out until after 11 p.m. when they close. And then we're in the same parking lot. Our store's in the parking lot of a Walmart, right? We're in the strip mall next to a Walmart. So there's been multiple days where I'm over at Walmart at 6 a.m. to see what they got. And people now realize that you can go in the side door and get in there about 5 minutes before 6.
Yeah.
And you go to the Nito aisles packed with people, the cars aisles packed. They're all looking for Hot Wheels and everything else. We go straight to the monster trucks, walk by them all. But even this morning, over here at 6:15 this morning, there's 4 guys in the Hot Wheels aisle all standing there talking. 6:15 in the morning.
And they've been to probably 3 stores just waiting for it.
Yeah, just waiting.
So like the hobby in general, like to be a collector, right? So like there's the reselling aspect, and it relates to being a collector that's not a reseller, just wanting just to collect for the sake of collecting. It's almost impossible now that like we're almost forced to have to pay reseller prices to get like that Godzilla. Like that, a lot of people has never seen that R34 Godzilla pop culture in stores. I don't think it's ever hit stores.
I mean, I've never seen it in a store. I've seen the remnants of that Stranger Thing car. So usually I'd seen the remnants of it at Kroger's. That's where I found them at. Other than that, like my Kroger, which is Fry's up in Arizona, I found the Thrill Climbers full set there one day. But I realized I went back the next day and they put 2 more sets out and there was no cars but like the black Mercedes. So somebody there, either in the insider or whatever, but the only place I ever found that Stranger Things, and it was Everett Kroger, Never saw them at Walmart. Never found them at Target. Never. And I only seen it one time. So I'm like, oh, it was here. Crap. So
well, even the employees a lot, right? Will come over and look. And perfect example is last year in December when they put up the Christmas M2 Sidekick. I just happened to walk over here to Walmart in the middle of the day just to walk out of the store, go grab a drink, stretch my legs a little. I walk in and they just put the Christmas M2 Sidekick up, right? I walk up to it. All the trucks are still in there. It's brand new. And I start going through stuff. And right next to that, literally right next to it is the Hot Wheels section. And this Walmart guy comes over and he's like reaching over me to look for stuff. And I'm like, is there something you're looking for? He's like, yeah, just the chase real quick. I'm on break. I'm like, okay, well, cool. Go ahead. I already knew there wasn't the chase in there because I quickly went through everything. So I let him in. I literally stepped to the side, and right on the front peg, top left corner was the super of the blue. Was it the Escort? The blue Escort.
Yeah, the Golf.
Standing right there. So I'm like, well, I guess while you're looking for that, I'll just take this Subaru. And he was like pissed. Like mad. And I'm like, you're not supposed to be looking anyway. You're in a Walmart uniform, right? Like, but dude, even pallets, when they were bringing them out, they would come out completely saran wrapped with the saran wrap cut and the box of Hot Wheels pulled out and folded back up and stuck back in there. They're going through it in the back room, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It happens all the time. So the one good thing about having a store and being in diecast for 30 plus years is you build a network, right? Like we do have friends in other states that'll help hunt for us and we hunt for them and vice versa, and you can trade. And it's that network that really helps you get the hard to find stuff. Like you've got to just know people and work with people to get it.
Oh, definitely have to establish friendships.
Whew.
Yeah.
But going back, like, so the employee aspect, like, what does that say about our society in general if employees have to do this in order to make extra money? Because, like, you know, like a lot of Dollar Trees, especially in my area, and even in the collector's market that I read online and all the boards and stuff like that, like it seems like to be the biggest complaint is employees are getting to stuff before it hits the shelves. And it's like, and most of the comments are like, if you don't like it, then get a job at Dollar Tree, get a job at Walmart. Like, if you can't beat them, join them, sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's right. And they are. Yeah, dude, listen, I went into Target one day and I was looking at the Johnny Lightnings, which I never find Johnny Lightnings because they're always gone no matter what. And this little short Mexican kid was stocking the shelves, and he looks over, he goes, man, there ain't nothing good in that. He goes, I already got the white lightning out of it. I was like, what? He's like, oh, yeah, I got that.
You got the white lightning out of it.
I'm like, you got the white lightning? He goes, yeah, I usually try to grab the supers and the white lightnings when I can find them. And I'm like, you're literally telling me that you're taking the cars while you're on the clock. Like, there's no point of even coming back to this Target anymore, because if you're the stalker and you're taking the good stuff, like,
yeah,
there's no point. But you're right. People, if you can't beat them, people join them. They just go get a job at that, and then they've got access to it.
Which relates. So then another thing I saw in another forum was I heard, like, it's a possible rumor that Mattel is not going to let stores stock this stuff anymore, that Mattel is going to send their reps out to do all this stuff themselves. And have you guys heard that rumor? Yes,
but here's why that'll never work. They don't have enough reps to do that. They physically don't have enough reps to go store to store to stock their stuff.
Well, don't they do that now with Pokemon cards? And there's still issues with Pokemon stuff, right?
Yep. So the one store that I went to here, and I met the rep, and I said, you know, and we were at a store that was kind of in the hood. I mean, it's obviously, it was a terrible store. Let's put it that way. And he came out of the back, and I was like, so are you put anything out? He said, if you went in the back room of this store and you saw what I see, you would wonder how this store can even open its doors and function as a store. He said, there's cases of cars back there I can see, but I can't get to, because everything, it looks like that somebody went through and knocked down all the shelves, and there's just crap piled in heaps. He goes, there's Hot Wheels back there from years ago. I can't get to them. Wow. I'm like, really? He said, it's just a jumble-eyed mess. And I said, well, are you going to start putting cars out? He goes, I'm only allotted to pull some old stuff off the hooks, and I usually am allowed to put like one case up. Other than that, he goes, if I find cool cars, he goes, I'm a collector just like you. I don't have early access. I don't get to, dig through this stuff first. He goes, if I put it on the shelf, I can't buy it when I'm on the clock. But if I clock out, I can come back in the store. But if somebody beats me to it, they beat me to it. I'm not going to cry about it. He said, but that's just the way it is. And I'm like, there's just so many young collectors now. They all go to their shows. You know what I think, and honestly, I can say this with true sincerity. I think Whatnot has been a key role on having people figure out that these things are worth a lot of money. So they're wanting to buy it to try to resell it. Also, all of the, like the guys on Instagram that are always talking about this week, what you need to look for is this figurine. It's it's the flip market. It's those flip guys where people get in their Discord channels. They pay money to these guys. These guys disclose what to go out and look for. And then these kids run out to the stores and look. Like I was looking for the Sonic the Hedgehog, the 1/43rd scale figures. The girl figure was going for $150. I never found one. But I always look at the Sonic the Hedgehog because I saw a reel one day and I'm like, is it really worth that much money? And I'm like, I'll find one, I'll sell it. Never found one. So, but you always see like down the aisles early in the morning, you see the guys looking at the WWE figures, or you see the guys looking at Star Wars. They're looking for the chases. Every collectible item now has its version of a chase.
Even the Nitos, right? Nitos have chase Nitos, different colors and sparkles and all kinds of stuff. Like there's everything.
So it's the thrill of the hunt. That's what it comes down to. Everybody loves the thrill of the hunt, and
everyone loves the hunt and that little adrenaline rush when you find the chase. It doesn't matter what your chase is. It can be a treasure hunt. It can be a super treasure hunt worth $150. It can be a gold Lightning McQueen, whatever, right? Like you find it, you're like, yeah, I got one.
Yep.
And it's just, it's that little endorphin rush you get, and then you leave the store, you pay for it, you look at it at home for a couple times, and now you're on the hunt again, right? Like,
then you're right back out the door, and
and then you're right back looking for something else. Like,
that's right. Well, listen, Uncle Ron, he texted me yesterday. He's like, we have a brand new Myers that opened up here in Brownsburg, and I finally got a chance to go to it. But he's like, yeah, I'm gonna pick these cars up. He goes, man, I love that green Honda Civic, the Honda Civic drag car. No. And he sends me a picture of it, and I went, Ron, that's a super. And he went, wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about? If you knew my Uncle Ron, you'd know exactly what he said. What are you talking about? He goes, oh, you son of a bitch. That's a super. I'm like, dude. He goes, I just bought it because I love the car. I'm like, you literally bought a super and had no idea it was even a super. That's
even better.
That's even better. Like, that's even better because he's out looking for him. He looks for him all day, every day because he's retired. He's got nothing else better to do. But he's like, yeah, I didn't even realize it. I'm like, dude, that's even a greater feeling when you're like, look at that, look what I got. Who knew that? That's cool.
So I mean, you look, Clayton, you have a brick and mortar store.
We do.
Mark, you have your online business, and like
I got a brick and mortar store too now, sir.
Oh, now he's got to go.
I had to follow Clayton. Clayton made me get a brick and mortar store so I could be like him. So I've got a brick and mortar store now.
Okay, so you both have brick and mortar stores, right? Like, so I'm assuming, Mark, that means you're going to be working towards distribution deals with companies and stuff like that.
Yep.
As collectors, not as business owners, how does one combat the reseller paradox?
As in buying from the manufacturers and getting your own? I mean, you can combat that by buying 20 cases of M2s and hoping you get Chase. You can combat that by buying 10 cases of, Monster Jam, hoping that there's Series 2 that has the Chase in it. Whatever.
But the reality is that, like, you can't. Like, so everybody's a collector knows, like, you can go to J-Card Diecast, you can go to One Stop Diecast, you can buy cases, right?
Yeah.
But those cases that you're buying are not at wholesale prices. You're still paying markup value, because even if you buy a case of Hot Wheels 72 cars at $1.29 each, that's what, 90 some odd dollars. Like, that's not even $100. So these places are selling those for $120. So you're paying a markup.
Yep.
To get those cases,
and really
speaking, you're not going to want look. If I see a case of Hot Wheels in Walmart, I'm probably going to buy it. because I want that chance, right?
Yeah.
But that now I'm out $90 and I have, 6 cars that I really want and 60 fantasy cars that I don't want. And I'm left with a choice. What do I do here? Do I give them out on Halloween, or do I do what a lot of resellers do and bring my receipt and return the cars that I don't want?
That gets you a bad name real quick, because people, here's the deal. With all the facial recognition cameras in Walmart, they will allow you to do that like 2 times now. And other than that, they'll stop you and they say you're not allowed to return cars anymore. This is how I combat it, right? So at the end of the day, like I said, watches have got my attention now. So watches are, it's a different way of collecting watches. I buy a lot of watches on Whatnot. Ones that I want. I'm not guessing what I'm getting. I'm physically know what I'm getting. But in like chasing, I wouldn't even call it a grail, but chasing things that I would want to collect in the diecast world. Now, I'm stubborn. And I know Clayton he's going to say the exact same thing that I'm going to say, because we're both built the same way. I'm stubborn in the fact that, yes, I could buy that for a marked up price and get what I wanted. But I'm so stubborn that I want to try to buy a collection and get it in there and pay pennies on the dollar for it. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to buy enough cars on Whatnot to turn around and sell on Whatnot to make enough profit to make it so you can do it on a daily basis. You have to have a brick and mortar store. You have to have distribution. You have to have collections that you're constantly buying, because Whatnot eats your inventory. But also in a brick and mortar, you have to have enough inventory to sit on the shelf so when people walk in, they have something to buy. That's the difference between people that have funding and money that can do this full time, like us, because we can buy collections and not have to sell a single car to survive.
Yeah.
And we
2 years ago, it wasn't like that. We've made it to that point, which is great. But it's been a lot of work, right? Like, but now we can, like, if a 4,000 truck collection comes up, we're looking at it. We're talking to them about pricing. We're talking about flying out or renting a vehicle to go get it. Like, and that's the kind of stuff you want to see photos of what they got. You want to see what the rare stuff is. You want to see what the not rare stuff is. There might be 2, 3, 4, 500 trucks in a collection that are going to bring that $4 price tag, right? And you got to know that going into it. Like, this might not bring anything. We may lose money if somebody buys one truck and we got to pay for the packaging and all the fees and everything else, right? There's that end of it too. A lot of people don't get. But you're looking for those maybe 1 or 2 or 3 toy fairs in a truck. The last collection you seen, we did that giveaway show. We gave a toy fair away because I knew that collection would help us in what we needed to bring in to make up for it, right? So we gave a toy fair truck away. And it's that kind of stuff you got to look for. If, like, there's a couple trucks we're still missing. And the top shelf here is all chase pieces, superstore exclusives, mail-ins, right? That's where all our nice, more rare trucks go. Just they're up there for display. And there's definitely some other trucks I'd like to add to that one day. And collections that.
But both you guys are looking at this from the perspective of business owners, right?
Business owners, yeah.
You're looking at this from the perspective of business owners. Like, the average collector isn't going to have the capital, the funding, the financial well-to-do to be like, hey, let me buy 6 cases and hope I hit a chase. So the question I'm asking is,
what do they do?
How does the average collector combat the reseller aspect? Like,
well,
if I can't walk into a store, I'm sorry, Mark, because I want to get my thought across. I'm sorry. If I walked into 5 different Walmarts and I couldn't find anything, like, now that's because of personal taste, right? Like, the one thing that I did find was, like I said, I found a Black Widow 83 Silverado, and that's been out long enough now that it's not necessarily a peg warmer,
right?
But it's being left behind. At least in this one store that I went to. Like I said, I went to 5 Walmarts, and then by the time I was done, it was close to 8 o'clock. So I went to that Target, and boy, I got a funny story about that Target, man. And I got video of it too, because I caught my first door opening runner. And I was like, oh my,
the joggers
on video.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and it made me so angry that the dude was actually doing this, and like, I stopped recording and sprinted beeline through another aisle and got to the diecast aisle before he
did.
Yeah, it made me so mad, dude. I can't believe I did it. I was so embarrassed.
You're going down, old man.
Just give him a little hip check in the next big aisle. Pow!
Like,
right into the Barbie section.
This guy that I know was like asking me about my friend's deli that he like, oh, I didn't know they closed down for a little bit. And I was like, but I stopped recording on my phone and I just took off through the female women's clothing aisle and like ducked and dodged and like, I'm like, I can't believe in my head, I'm like, I can't believe I'm running right now. The cars,
I wish you would have kept recording.
Oh, me too, dude.
And like I got them, like when I saw that they didn't restock, I like just quickly went down the rest of the aisle and like, you know, I think there was majorettes there that I was like yoink yoink, and I left the green Porsche majorette that's there, like the hydrochrome green Porsche.
Yeah.
And another guy was like, I don't know why everybody's passing up this Porsche, and I'm thinking to myself, it's because I already have it, you know. But the other cars I didn't have. But like, so how does the average collector combat the reseller aspect? Like, it's one thing, like, dude, you find a super for $1.30. Everybody's stoked. It doesn't matter if you're into that super or not. Like, you're gonna grab it. So
my advice would be this, in which I've talked to a couple people that go to the Hot Wheel Club meetings, and they have a hard time because they're an older generation. And they just can't beat all these guys to it. They simply just trade.
Yeah, trading is a huge
groups, thing. Like Pop. He's the sheriff that you always see me talking about when I'm always like, hey, Pop's in the room. This is Pop. His last name is actually Papa Golf. So he has become good friends with a couple other guys. There's this young kid that's in every day, and he's the one who found the super at the display down here. But him and Pop trade. Pop finds things during the day that he needs, and he finds things that Pop needs. And literally, he's like, if I can't beat these guys at the pegs, he goes, I got a guy that I can trade with. So he gets everything he wants, and he doesn't really have to pay more than just the card that he finds that his other buddy wants to trade him for. So that's a good way of doing it. But you know, you got to find a good crew that is willing to do that.
Yeah.
It goes back to the networking, right? Like, I've been in it 30 years and built a huge network. It doesn't have to be that big, right? I mean, we have a YouTube channel. We know a lot of people in a lot of states, and you can get into your local collecting. Like, if you really want to collect and hunt for the more rare stuff, hit up your local Hot Wheel meets. Like, every state has their own local Facebook page, right? Yeah. Go in, shake some hands, go to a couple shows every month and get to know people and just hang out. Like, I have a huge friend here, a great friend here. We met in the Hot Wheels aisle at Walmart, and him and his wife helped us with the retail side of buying this store, right? And that's how good of friends we've become, meeting in the Hot Wheels aisle because we were both collecting. And he's like, oh, you're the monster truck guy, right? That's literally how we met. He's like, oh, you're the monster truck guy, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, I heard about you from some other collectors and hear what you guys do on YouTube. And that's how we started talking. So you just got to go out and meet other people and build even a little small local network if you want to trade stuff. And we still weekly send photos back and forth of the stuff we find or what he finds. And he knows I'm a Ford guy and I know he's a Chevy guy, right? And if he finds a Ford and I got a Chevy, we trade. I mean, it's simple as that.
Right. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, you're paying the same price that they're paying. Exactly. Everybody's buying their stuff at retail. So if you buy an M2, which is let's just say $7, you buy a premium, which is $8, and you trade, you're $1 off, but you're not going to ask for $1. You're just going to do the straight trade.
Right. You're going to do the trade. And it's not even going to matter in the future. And it doesn't matter if your M2 Chase is a $25 Chase and his is a $60 Chase, right? It doesn't matter because you're friends. You're helping each other out. And you got the car you wanted. And it's almost as fun as finding it yourself.
I mean,
I gotta agree. Establishing relationships, even long distance ones, but even with so I didn't know about the New Jersey Collectors Club, right? And it's a bunch of older guys. It's a bunch of older guys that their collections are probably, like chef's kiss. I mean, these guys have probably been to Hot Wheels since Hot Wheels came out, but this one guy, Carl.
There's always a Carl.
Yeah, dude.
Freaking Carl! Can't believe he was in the back room getting all these cases. Damn it!
No,
Carl.
but Carl in New Jersey Collectors Club is awesome. He's super authentic. And these older collectors are generally super, super authentic.
They run the gauntlet years ago. They don't want to do that anymore.
Well, I mean, so he had the new Boulevard set with the Richard Petty Supra, right? And
that's Rutledge's car. I know Rut's a good friend of mine.
He
Rutledge Wood.
He had that new set, and I was like, "Oh my god, you have this?" It's like he's like ordered it from Japan. He's like, "I think I'm the only one in the States with it right now." And I'm like, he could be fluffing me, whatever. But man, he gave me a really, really good deal on all of it. Obviously I paid second market for it, but I bought it, and then as I'm like picking through it, he's going through his loose cases, and he knows what I like. He knows that I like JDM and Civics and stuff like that. And he's pulling out all these loose Civics and loose Hondas, and he goes here, and he hands me. I actually have it here, so he hands me like this one Civic,
Wings West, baby,
right? And he goes, "Here, just take that," and he hands me the Odyssey.
Nice,
nice.
He goes, "Here, take that too." And it's establishing those relationships, like you guys said. And I got a buddy in Indiana besides Mark that he tells me all the time, "Dude, don't worry about hunting. Don't worry about hunting. I got time. Don't worry about hunting." He says it all the time. Yeah. And we work out deals, and even if I pay a little bit, so this also kind of reverts to the ethics of the hustle, right? Like, so there's the thrill of the hunt, and then there's the convenience of the buy, right? The thrill of the hunt, Clayton, you said it, you get that hit of dopamine, right? Like when you find something, you get that massive hit of dopamine. But then there's the buy, which is the secondary market, right? Like, you guys are doing the hunt for me. I'm not wasting my time going out. Like, all right, you got a brick and mortar store. You're taking the risk, and you're buying cases upon cases upon cases of cars. And I only want a handful. So if I got a little bit of a markup to get that, I'm not gonna, like, the collector in me, and hopefully other collectors, right? Like, there's not this FOMO, the fear of missing out, right? Where there's massive markup for a car that a couple of months down the road is possibly going to take a dive, right? Remember that Civic hatchback, the maroon Civic hatchback Super Treasure Hunt, right? When it first came out, that was last year's Civic Super Treasure Hunt. Yes, maybe. Do we remember?
Yeah.
I'll go with it.
When it first came out, it was $80 on the market. Yeah. Now you could probably get it for $40-$50.
They all drop. Yeah. They all drop unless it's like the Ferrari or something like that. They'll all go down. People just got to be patient.
Well, the other thing to kind of circle back on what you're talking about is, how do the smaller collectors really keep in the game, right? We're talking about building relationships and building up a network. Something else I'll say is, a lot of people hunt, right? If you're into collecting, you go hunting. And something we always say, and you guys can probably relate to, and anyone watching this video can probably relate to, is we have a saying. Heather's saying is no sparkle smash left behind. Most collectors' saying should be no chase left behind. It doesn't matter if it's not something you like. Like, I found a police car, like a 70s police cruiser on a green light. And I bought it. And you know what? I traded a guy 2 standard Mustangs I didn't have at a car show. Like, it doesn't matter. If you really want to collect, buy every chase you see in the wild. And I'm not saying that to be a hoarder, and I'm not saying that to be a flipper. But if you want to trade, they're great trading devices, right? Like, you can go any of these shows and you take a little box of chase stuff, and you can walk up to a table and be like, "Oh, you got this Supra over here that I want, right? Like, here's what I got. Like, what do you want to trade?" And at that point, it's trade for trade. Like, you might have something in the box that you've picked up in the last 3 months they want, and they got a car you want. So it's great to do. No chase left behind. Like,
at the convention, there's guys that only walk around with bagfuls of chases
to trade.
To trade. They're only
you go to a chase and they're looking for the rare stuff to trade. Yep.
And those are the guys that are frugal too. They don't want to spend any money. They've already spent their money buying this stuff.
But they have incredible collections, and that's one way to get there. Just no chase left behind. Pick them all up.
Yep.
So this is good, because circling to our message with our show is, we always try to relate some sort of life lesson here, right? Networking is good because it allows you to get out of your comfort zone, right? Yep. Like, a lot of people in this hobby are super outgoing, right? They communicate, or they may be outgoing because on like a platform like Whatnot, they have that safety of the screen, right?
Right.
So, like they're not actually like they're communicating with people, but they're communicating in an anonymous manner, right? So there's a veil, there's a curtain behind, their face, so they can be who they want to be, right? Going to diecast shows, going to conventions is great because you'll find stuff that you've been looking for. But it's also good because you get to meet people and talk to people.
Right.
And this hobby is for for all the bad that I'm talking about right now with this hobby and how toxic it is. For every bad person that you meet in this hobby and any hobby in general,
Anyhow.
there's 10 great people.
Yeah.
You just got to not be afraid. You got to get over that fear, and you have to go out and meet people and talk to people. And yeah, you're going to encounter a couple of jerks, but you're more likely to encounter more awesome people than the actual jerks.
Yeah. Agreed.
There's always the one guy that wants to watch the world burn. There's always the one guy that wants to steal every single freaking glory that they possibly can. And those are usually the guys that peaked in high school that have nothing more to look forward to, and that's all they got. I mean, I hate to say that. I'm not trying to stereotype it, but it's not a stereotype if it's real, right?
True story.
If it's real, it's not a stereotype.
We had people in our Whatnot show today, 2 hours before filming this podcast. We're in there talking crap to us. And we know who they are. It's on their burner accounts. And it's the same thing. They just want to watch the world burn. They don't care about what they're doing, who they're messing with. No. They're going to be there, is what it is.
And I think it also stems back to, and I mean, these are facts. It stems back to jealousy.
Yeah.
Because they see what Clayton does, and they are jealous that they can't emulate the same thing he does. They don't have the amount of trucks he's got. They don't have the size room he's got. They don't have the voice he's got. They don't got the YouTube videos he's got. So, listen, the best way to emulate somebody is to emulate success. But if you can't do that, jealousy sets in. And then what happens? They become the bitter person. And then they get a burner account. And then they talk smack because it makes them feel better. But they just still peaked in high school. That's all they have to look forward to. I mean,
so that sense of validation,
it is what it is.
That sense of validation that you're talking about, I'm willing to bet buckets to bolts. If I'm killing the phrase, I'm willing to bet that if you took all that away from Clayton, like Clayton would still be happy.
100%. Oh, yeah. I always say you can take Whatnot away from me tomorrow, and I'm still going to be the most.
Dude, 3 years ago, 3 years, I could not have imagined we'd be sitting here today. Not a chance. Dude, we're about to launch our biggest toy line track set to date. And it's all because I started playing with trucks with my kid on YouTube. Right? And he still, to this day, comes in here and builds these tracks. Like, I'm going to show you guys this before we're done, before we sign off today. We have a dirt section in our track right here that he's built. And he was in here today lining trucks up. They're still lined up right here in front of me where I'm filming. And he was here with the dirt crew and moving the sand around and building jumps. And dude, it's like awesome to watch him do that at 12 years old and still in here doing the stuff we started doing. So that's what it's about.
Yep.
100%.
Like, I mean, some people need that validation of,
they do,
that's their dopamine hit.
Right.
Right. Some people get
ruining somebody else's day.
Yeah. By like you said, lighting the world on fire makes them feel better. And I think that if you're experiencing that, you need to have a little bit of personal self-reflection about what it is what your goal is in the hobby. To be like, is my goal to ruin other people's lives, or is my goal to just collect cool stuff that I like? Like I said, if Clayton didn't have the YouTube channel, I can't. I'm sorry for speaking for you, but chances are,
you're good.
If you didn't have the YouTube channel, if you didn't have the big box store, or the brick and mortar store, Mark, if you didn't have the brick and mortar store, if you didn't have the Whatnot platform, you guys more likely would probably still be pretty happy with your lives because you're taking to it. Like, dude, I don't have anything that you guys have. I don't. And you guys know my personal life. I'm not rock bottom, but I'm definitely treading water like crazy. you know, and I'm still pretty happy, man. I'm
Right.
healthy.
We still have all of our networks. We still have all of our friends that we've gained over the 30 years. We still have all the shows we can go to. If you took all this away, we still have all that.
Well, and the
That's
best
what-
thing is, like, even no matter where we're at in stages of our life, right? Like, I've been in the rock bottom. Trust me, been there,
Me too.
done that.
Been there, done
But
that.
the diecast world in general, in just collecting, right? It brings people together, right? Look at us. A year ago, we didn't even know each other.
I had no idea. Right.
No idea who anyone was.
Watch,
And like it brings everyone together, gives people to talk to. You build friendships. You can call anybody up and talk all the time. And these cars, these stupid little toy cars, right? They just make you happy. Like,
Yeah.
be a decent person and collect. Like, have fun with it. They're cool to look at. Like, build the memories, play with your kids, and just be a good person. Like,
right.
That's what it's all about.
We've preached that how much? If you're just a good person, good things will happen to you.
Exactly.
That's it.
In fact, Reagan's right here. You want to say hi, Reagan? Come here.
If you're
no.
a bad person, bad things will follow. I mean, that's that's the law. Just be a genuine good person. Be interested in what people are talking about. Have fun with what you're doing. And I always tell people this, collect things that you want to collect. Don't collect things because other people are telling you need to do that.
Right.
Collect what you like.
It doesn't have to be diecast either. Like, even when Reagan was younger, we would hike a lot. I have an entire box of rocks. And we would go hiking and he would pick up cool looking rocks, right? And I'd bring every single one of them home because I'm like, wow, that is cool. Like, look at the way the white rock goes through the gray rock and look at the marbling in the rock. Like, it doesn't matter what you collect.
It's not about the rock. It's the memories. It's the
memories from that rock. Exactly.
Yeah. It's the memories.
I can literally see where I'm sitting. There is a bucket of rocks that I have to take back that they had collected, that they told me specifically, don't forget the bucket of rocks at the back at the garage door. And I'm looking at it right now and I'm going, I can't forget that bucket of rocks.
Yep. Take it with you.
They're just rocks, but I do remember where we got some of them. And I'm like,
exactly.
They're all memories. Yep.
Yeah. So in my notes, actually, we hit this, like, the true value, right? It's understanding that the most valuable thing in the room isn't the actual toy, but the story, the hunt, and the person you were with when you found it.
I will tell you, when we started the YouTube channel, I even had this talk with Reagan. Most of my really close friends know this. When we started the YouTube channel, I never knew we'd have almost 200,000 subscribers, 120 million views in 4 years. It's blown up. I've told people the reason I started this YouTube channel is because I don't have many photos with my father and no videos with my dad, right? And even if our YouTube channel tanked, absolutely tanked, we have all these videos of us to go back and look at playing together, right? It's the memories. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Yep. And here we are today.
So when you look at your collection, right? When you look at everything, when you look at all the stuff that you have as far as your diecast collection, your watch collection, do you look at it like it's a retirement fund or like a museum of your own life?
Well,
that's a deep question.
So my collection before I purged most of it was going to be, when I wanted to retire, would have been a significant chunk. But that turned to selling it all and whatnot and getting me the momentum to start the vintage drop shop and then get a retail store and then do this for a living. So leaving my job was the main thing to get over on that hump. But, I still have my personal stuff, which is all my hard to find blue card stuff. And that's my personal collection. It's not huge. It's probably a couple thousand cars, but they're very hard to find. Like a France, Italy.
Not huge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but compared to, I had 150,000 cars at one point in my life in my house, and I'm down to a couple thousand. So the retirement fund thing, not for me. Now the collection that I have is it's my Grail stuff. I don't look at it as I would never sell it because I don't need to sell it anymore to make, I don't need I don't need to sell anything anymore to make money. We're now financially stable. So now it's just sits in a room and I get to stare at it, but it's really hard to find stuff. And when I'm looking for stuff now, it's like Venezuelan carded stuff, like blue card stuff from the 80s, which is so stupid rare. And the background and the history on the Venezuelan stuff, there's been a book that's just written by a guy in Venezuela about how those cars made it to Venezuela, why they're different colors. They should never have been left in the packages, and these people are still finding them carded down in Venezuela. So that's the stuff that I chase after. And they're expensive. But I don't look at it as I'm going to sell this someday and retire on it. I don't look at that anymore. The stuff that I had in here before, that was a thought process before. But now becoming successful in the business adventures that I'm in and doing real estate and doing watches, I don't have to worry about that anymore, right? Like we finally have grown up, we've gotten over the hump, and we've I don't want to say we've made it, but we've made it, right?
Yeah.
Clayton quit his job. He's doing this full time. You can officially say he made it. Like the day he quit, he was like, man, I kept telling him, I was like, sometimes you just got to quit your job to make that fire.
You know what's crazy is I worked at that job for 14 years. And I'm obviously by no means retired. I mean, look, I put in more hours here than I've ever thought, right?
Absolutely.
Like it's 6 a.m. to midnight, 1, 2 a.m. most days doing something, right?
Yep.
Something with the store, whether I'm editing YouTube videos, we're making customs, we're shopping for stuff, we're doing our shirt transfer, anything, right? And we're just busy, but it doesn't feel like work. Like when I clocked out from that day job, my last day, I literally videoed it. Like videoed clocking out and shutting down my computer.
See ya.
Because it's a huge step, right? Like and now I get to play with toy trucks and make videos.
That's like super scary. That's a super scary thing to do. That you
Of
just
course.
like,
yeah,
here's
absolutely.
Here's health
trust me, there was a
insurance.
big breath. They're like, this is really happening. Oh, whew.
Now the thought process goes, now I got to make a paycheck.
Exactly.
I don't get a paycheck.
Yeah, you don't get that paycheck every 2 weeks.
That's the fire that, and listen, as entrepreneurs, as we've, we're all built entrepreneurs inside of us. I mean, all three of us at one point, we've all had entrepreneur background and a history, and we've gone after things. But as an entrepreneur, your brain never stops. And I mean, maybe it's the ADHD, maybe it's the autism, maybe it's whatever else we've got that's built in our DNA. But the fact of the matter is knowing, listen, the day that I quit my job, right? I came back from surgery, the best job I've ever had, best insurance I've ever had, just had kids. My wife, I had a company car, didn't have to pay for anything. It was a great job. It was a great job, except for they were screwing me. And so when I came back from surgery, it wasn't my fault that I had to have surgery. I was out for 9 weeks. And when I came back, they just kept pissing with me. And I'm like, I said, I'm going to quit. She's like, please don't. Our family relies upon you because you're the only person that works. And I said, I get it. I said, you're going to have to let me just prove to you that this can work. And that first show that we did, that Nissan show, and I brought home that big chunk, and she was just like, oh my gosh, like, are we really going to do this? And I'm like, we're really going to do this, because if you're going to do this, if you're going to be your own boss, you have to have something every day that gets a fire underneath you to get up and
you got that drive. Yeah.
And either you have that drive, or you're just a person that works a 9-to-5 job and goes 40 years, retires, and then starts their life then, right? We all have kids. We all want to spend as much time as we can with them. And becoming an entrepreneur and being a business owner, you can spend more time with your kids. Doesn't mean that it's always going to happen, but you have that opportunity. Like my main thing was, I told her, I said, in the very beginning parts before she was like convinced that this was going to work, and I said, look where I am right now. It's 12:30 and I've taken you and the kids out. We're out having lunch.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that when I worked at the dealership. That never happened. And I was there for 5 years.
True.
And I said, if you need help for something, I can just run home and get the kids and you can go do what you need to do. I said, that didn't happen before. I said, I get it. It's scary. It's a scary adventure. And you got to just go, God, I need you to be on my side. I need you to help me through this, because if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to go back and get a job again. But I don't want to do that. I want the stress to leave me. So even though this is stressful, This is not 9 to 5 stress. It's
Right.
not the same stress.
Well, and even
So
right now, we're about to drop our biggest drop yet, right? With our products that we've designed. I've hired an engineer. We're bringing to market because of the YouTube channel. People like our
right.
races and they want a part of that, right?
Yep.
We are about to have our biggest drop right now ever. It's like probably the feeling you had when your protector packs were being shipped, right?
Oh yeah. It's
But
coming.
what's
It's
wild
coming.
is you're already working on your next protector packs. This drop isn't even complete. We haven't set a schedule date. We're still working on the last 3 parts to make this all work. And we're already talking about the next 3 steps,
Yep.
right? Like what we can build off of what we have now. What this double loop track, I'm not even going to mention it on camera because there's some big stuff we're working on. Huge.
Yep. Yep.
Huge. And it's like this is going to be the biggest thing to date, but it may be dwarfed by the next thing, right?
Right.
And you just gotta keep, trust me, there's days 3 a.m. and I'm sitting there trying to sleep because I know I got to be back at the shop at 6 because there's stuff I want to do. It's not that I have to be there, it's that I want to be there to get it done.
Yeah.
And my brain just won't stop. I'm like, we're this close to having this done, but next, it's like, this is going to be huge.
And that's it. Our biggest motivation is beating
It's
the
ourselves.
last big drop that we did. How can we do it better this next time? What's the next product I can bring out that people are going to go, dang, man, I need that. You know, that's,
watch out, Mattel. Here comes our time for adventures.
That's right, dude. I'm telling you. So I think it's the never in, it's the, how do I say this? It's the never ending, endless amount of always wanting to try to be better every day at work.
Yes, the desire to better yourself in everything you do.
Every day.
Like,
yeah, just waking up and just going, okay, yesterday wasn't a great day. That doesn't depict my life. That just depicts a day. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be a bad day today. I can make today twice as better. And then at the end of the day, when it's
still,
twice as,
even that bad day is better than sitting at a desk from 9 to 5.
I mean, it is. It truly, absolutely
it really is.
Yeah, be like, okay, you know what? It's a new minute. It's a new hour.
Yeah. Everything can change in 5 seconds. Just got to make, and you have to make it, you have to want to change too. You know, there's a lot of people still that I know that are like, well, you know, and they complain, well, if this would just be this way, I could do this. If it just turned out that way, this would have worked. I said, you know what? You could have just made it happen. It's the excuses that you're too comfortable in the environment that you're in to be able to step outside that box and realize that sometimes you need the uncertainty of life to give you that spark that gives you the imagination to get to that next goal. I mean, it's, you know, people get locked into their jobs and they're just like, oh, I work 9 to 5. I'm about to retire.
Well, it's comfortable. That's what happens. They get in that comfortable zone and you're making enough money to survive. You think you're happy with what you're doing. Like,
that makes you stale.
The hard part is stepping out of that. I was there.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
Like,
and I beat you up for how long? I kept saying, dude, you got to do it. You got to do it. I said, my statement has always been, sometimes you got to wreck the truck to get the insurance money to make the truck payment. It's just, that's it. That's what gets you to go. You're like,
the one I remember you told me is sometimes you got to jump out of the plane and figure out how to build a parachute on the way down.
That's right. That's right. Because my wife is the person that would be like, we're not jumping out of the airplane until the parachutes are packed. I have to know that this has been signed off on. And I'm just like, hey, follow me. Ah! All right, let's figure out how to build this thing on the way down. That's my philosophy. Jump out and do it and figure it out as you're going.
But there's nothing wrong with wanting to be comfortable, right? Like, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with working that 9 to 5 job that provides for your family. You know, I think it's the dreamers that are the ones that need to take the risk.
Yep.
Right. Like, I mean, look, I think everybody should take a risk, especially when you're young, right? Like, be stupid when you're young, make stupid, poor decisions when you're young, because when you're young, you have the ability to bounce back. Yeah. Right. As long as that risk and stupidity is not life.
Well, I think there's two people. I think there's two people. There is the entrepreneur driven people that know from the get-go that they want to do something on their own and they don't want to work for the man. And then there's others, and I would call those other people introverts. Not always, but most people that are comfortable in their job, that just do their job for their family. And listen, like you said, there's nothing wrong with that at all. There's nothing wrong with working 40 years and putting it in and getting a good retirement and having a Social Security. There's nothing wrong with that. Those people are just built for that. A real quick excerpt. People, the class, the car, I don't even remember what it's called, something TI. When I had my speed shop, they would always bring out their kids to my shop, and the teacher would always ask the same questions. You know, if you wanted to do what Mark's doing right now, what advice would you give these kids? And I would always look at them and say, quit going to school, stop what you're doing, and come work for me for a year. You're not going to get paid. Now, if you work for me for a year, I'll start paying you as long as I can guarantee you know what you're doing. And and the teacher was always like, oh, yeah, I always hate you when you say that. I'm just like, because if you're coming to do what I'm doing, because mine was a custom speed shop. If you're trying to do what I'm doing, school's not going to teach you that. You already have a dad that's been building a Camaro in your garage, and you've helped him since you've been 2 years old. You know how to work a wrench. You know how to do all the things that you're being taught here on paper. But the other 22 kids are just here to get a degree and go work for a dealership. And if they drop a car off the lift, they still keep their job, yada, yada, yada. They're not people that want to build high-end performance cars. They just want to try to get in the car market and work a job. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with either way of doing that. I'm just not the guy that is built to be able to sit there and make money for another person. Because I know that other person, like at the car dealership world, all the car dealership owners all started like we did, going, someday I'm going to own a car dealership and people are going to work for me. And they didn't dream about working at that car dealership and working for somebody else for the rest of their life. You either have the entrepreneur or you've got the safe and secure and get my family through life.
I was just going to say that the safe and secure, I was definitely less scared doing that.
Yes. Yep.
Ain't got to worry.
You always had
right?
a paycheck.
Yeah.
You knew no matter what.
Speaking of safe and secure, I'm just looking at the software here, and it says Mark's upload is complete.
I don't know what that means, but that's awesome, right?
So I don't know for how long, Mark.
I might not even be part of this. Awesome.
Yeah, because I'm noticing it says Clayton's still recording, and it says I'm still recording, but it says you're not recording.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wow.
The little numbers up here that usually tells you how much time I've been on has been at 00.00 since I got that phone call.
Oh.
So, you know what?
Uh-oh.
I bet I'm still on there. Let's just hope. I can hit this X button over here. I don't know what it's going to do. You want me to try it?
No.
Before you
redo that, because we're at an hour and 20. We're at an hour and 20 minutes.
Well, here, I'll do this. I'll sign off. I'll tell everybody, hey, guys, more videos coming soon. If you can hear me, hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to hit this X button, and we're going to see what's happening. And if it doesn't work, that means you didn't hear me anyway. You don't even know I'm gone. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, see,
hello.
It says you're still here.
I'm still here.
But you're not recording. Oh, boy. This is really irritating.
Uh-oh.
Anyway. I don't know where this ending is. I don't know.
Well, Tommy, was it just me and you staring at each other for the last 15 minutes?
Literally, Clayton and I just staring at Mark, being like, "Yeah, totally agree, totally agree."
And they're like, "Who are they talking to? Like, there's not even another person on there."
Still not recording. I'm gonna kill it right here.
All right,
and see if I can salvage some